Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the last round of the Nxtgen Btcc Racing Series, coming to you from the lovely Brands Hatch GP circuit. For those that you know me, I love this track. It is a fantastic track, absolutely brilliant stuff. I can't wait. Perfectly honest, I cannot wait for tonight's racing. It's the final one of the season. Lloyd Bidoff has already been crowned champion, which is really good. So he's just now got to extend his winning streak for the end of the season. There is confirmation. This is the Nxtgen Btcc Series, round 10, that is today. I am your commentator and your broadcaster, and Mark Sykes is the official, is the race director. So he'll be there controlling the safety car that we saw. We've seen twice this season so far at two different events. There it is, the Brands Hatch GP circuit. Track temperature is hot, like it is here in Britain. Brands Hatch GP, it is the long circuit. We don't do the kidney. It goes all the way out into the woods. Like I said, it's a great track. Love it. It's brilliant stuff. Right, let's have a quick look over to the championship. So there you go, Lloyd Bidoff has won the championship. He won it last time out on 407 points. But it is all to play for between Andre Romy and Andre Alberti. No Alberti, I don't think he'll be racing for the rest of the season, so this is Romy's to lose. Dario Raffiti is in. He's in the Honda. He's up to fourth now, 193. He will be fighting Alan Axon, who's also racing. Do I think Alan Axon's going to get a pole position? He might do. Do I think he's going to get a win this time out? Don't know, we will see. Jamie Dory's in 6th, Robert's in 7th. Robert went very well here when we ran the kidney, but he's currently not racing at the moment. Real big shame. I got the feeling that he was gonna take a possible race victory this time out. Massimo is in 8th, Benny's in 9th, Mordini's in 10th. I don't we're gonna see Mordini. I think Mordini's done for the season. Then we've got Daniel in 11th, Michael Clough is in 12th, Phil Garside, race winner, Phil Garside in 13th, Stu Neal Neely, race winner. A tall order for him to get one today, he's in 14th. Marco's 15th, Fraser Rostans in 16th, currently fastest in the practice session with 4 minutes remaining. Carlo's in 17th, Lee Horn is 16th, Anton Temenga. Shame he's not racing, but that's how it is in 19th. Shame again for Poddy. He made real progress in the second half. It just hasn't materialised. But he is racing at the moment. Marco's in 21st, Andre's in 22nd, Derek's 23rd, Trebek's 24th, he's not racing. Alan McCain, 25th in 17th, Alex Ward is in 26th, Baz not racing anymore, Thomas, Pascal and Richard all not racing. So as it stacks up, Lloyd Bidoff is your championship leader, so he is still racing even though he's won the championship. He is still racing. He's down in 4th position at the moment. He is going to be carrying maximum ballast on board. That is 75 kilos. Does affect the cars as Phil Garside decides to go in the pit. Fraser Rostance, he is currently fastest in this practice session by 0.4 of a second. But the problem Fraser Rostance has, and this is what I've said time and time again through the entirety of the season, is his consistency. He just lacks that consistency. He's not a slow driver, but any sense of the word. He's very, very quick. The problem Fraser Rostance has is that he hasn't been able to convert that raw speed. So do we think he's going to do that today? He's currently fastest in Sector 1, Sector 2 and Sector 3. So, yeah, that's going to be tricky. We'll see if he can materialise that towards the last 3 races of the season. Alan Luth, nice to see you again on stream all by myself. Don't want to be all by myself. There's a lot of people actually watching on stream, as there is always every single week. Please type like and subscribe as always, and don't forget to add in, just add some comments. We're all friendly around here. Get yourself on Discord. This is the last race of the season, but that means that there will be a new season starting very, very soon. Get yourself involved for the touring cars. We do run also a TCRs on iRacing. I had to think about that one. So, yeah, get yourself involved. But over for tonight's last race of the season, they're all running around on the mediums at the moment as well. So that's going to be tricky, I think. There's just a lot to play for. It's a lot to play for. It's bragging rights is where we are now in terms of last of the season. And because this is a classic British track, lots and lots of them have raced this in other computer games. So I'm expecting them to be very well. I'm expecting them to do exceptionally well, to be perfectly honest. What we don't see, as Lloyd Biddulph moves himself up into third, what we don't see is the fuel loads that they're running on board. Because what we've seen through the season is what we see in practice isn't necessarily the outcome of the qualifying. Nice to see you on Mark Sykes as well. What we tend to see is that the qualifying, the practice run is never really what we see in qualifying. I think a lot of drivers use the opening hour to get themselves race distance, because with a 20-minute race you can go out and run a race distance, which allows you to basically hone the car, get the weights correct, get the fueling correct. And I suspect that quite a few drivers do this. Is why we see some of the drivers just go rapid between races one and between practice and qualifying. So I wouldn't count Lloyd out just yet. I suspect Lloyd, who we're following now, championship leader. He's actually won the championship. He's not leading it, he's won it. I'm expecting him to take a race 2 victory at least. Race 3, I don't know. He's got to work through his field. We've also got a new driver in tonight by Matthew Williams in 10th position. What's Matthew Williams on? He's in that's a good-looking car. Good-looking car. I like that one. He's in the Duckermans 125. That's a nice-looking car. So yeah, Matthew Williams is new tonight. So we don't know where he's gonna pop out. Probably mid-table, I suspect, on his current pace. He's done a 26.656, so he's 3/10 off in Sector 2. He's a second off in Sector 1. Sector 2, he's a second off. Yeah, he's mid-table. He's about mid-table at the moment, as Romney's still going. Well, Romney's still trying to sort himself out. So that's going to be interesting. Right, as we go over to the qualifying session, so this is 10 minutes of qualifying, 15 minutes of qualifying that we currently have for the final race of the season, the final 3 races of the season. I think Lloyd Biddulph has gone up first. Yes, so Lloyd, as there's been an accident already in pit lane, Lloyd will be out first. So he's going to get a banker lap in, I suspect. And then once he's got a banker lap in, Dario's got out. So Dario is actually first on track. Car 10. No, it's Matthew Williams. Matthew Williams is first car on track. That's a good-looking livery. That's a really good-looking livery. I wonder if that's in homage to the... So maybe if he comes on stream, he could let us know. It says Mark Sykes on the side. Not seen him before, so this is going to be very unusual. I wonder if that is a Mark Sykes designed car. Maybe Mark Sykes can let us know. It looks absolutely stunning car. Maybe Mark Sykes can let us know. He's watching on stream if that is actually one of his designed cars. If you're not aware, Mark Sykes of the Nxtgen Racing admin team, he also can design cars for you as well. Get yourself involved if you're thinking, I need a special custom livery for my racing car. He does those for you. They look fantastic. I couldn't do it. They look brilliant, so don't forget to look at that as well. But right, let's get over to the racing and let's have a look what we can do in the qualifying session. Now he's going to be first on the board. He was 10th fastest in practice, not seen him race so far this season, so he's going to have, yep, it is Mark Sykes. It is a Mark Sykes design. As he goes through Paddock Hill Bend, he's going a bit wide there. That's going to cost him. He will be green as he goes into Druids. He needs to keep it nice and tidy now. He's got a bit of traffic coming up from Poddy Flack. He's in the Pepperani car aboard just ahead there. You can't. He's back in the BMW actually. So he's gone back to the BMW. He was running in the front wheel drive. That's the Apex Predators. Through the long left. The black BMW behind that is Alan McCain, for you Alan McCain fans. He's right behind. Now, Matthew's going to get a I'm going to call him Matt from now on. Matt's going to get a lovely little boost there from Poddy. 26.807 is not going to be good enough. Fraser Rostance, we're going to go back to him. He's gone purple sector 1, 26.154. He's the only driver in the 26.154s. Nobody else is close to him. At the moment, this man is on his own. Yellow in Sector 1. It is Derek Neal is off. He's gone back in the pits with green in Sector 1. What can he do here through Sector 2? It's the long right-hander. It just keeps going and going and going. Then you go down the hill to the Fogarty S's, which isn't the Fogarty S's, but that's what I'm going to call them. Through the right-hander here, needs to keep it nice and tidy. Has he got it on the board? 40.905, Sector 2, purple Sector 2. Is it good enough? No, it is not good enough. He was quicker in practice. So there is time to be had here. Matthew Williams crosses the line. Andrei Torloska crosses the line. But this man here, Fraser Rostance, riding on board with him now. Purple Sector 1 and Purple Sector 2. This should be a 1:29.78. That was a done deal. So that's the time to beat at the moment. Anybody going faster? Romi's gone into third. Dario Raffiti's gone a little. He's gone into the pits. He's gone into the pits. He's checked himself out. Jamie Dory's gone a little bit faster. He, don't forget, changed from the Infinity to the Mike Double car halfway through the season. He fancied a bit of front-wheel drive, and that's where he is at the moment. Jamie Dory was quick in the practice session. What's he doing at the moment? 26.656 was his last time. Time to beat 26.154. So if he wants to move up the board, Lloyd Biddulph's fastest in Sector 2, but not good enough. At the moment, Fraser Rostance currently leading 1:29.788, and it's the fastest time on the board. He's 3/10 up. He's 3/10 up. That's going to be no good. Phil Garside, winner last time out. 3/10 currently off current pole position. Riding on board with him now. What can he do from here? Can he get himself a little bit faster, a little bit further up the line? Goes down through Hawthorns, through the right hand, and needs to keep it nice and tidy. You can take quite a lot of curb here if you so choose, and you're brave. Another sharp right-hander. Needs to be nice and tidy. Runs a little bit wide there. That's compromised his exit speed. Does he go any faster? Yes, he has. He's gone green. Sector 1, but not good enough. At the moment, he's going to be sticking into third. Anybody else going faster? No, they're all in Sector 1, and he's run wide. He's run wide. Through the right-hander. Needs to keep this nice and tidy now as we go down the Brabham Straight. No. Heroics should keep him third fastest. Go second. How's he done that? Final sector. So he did nothing special. This man here, currently second fastest, did absolutely nothing special in Sector 1 and 2. Sector 3 nailed it, but not fastest. So the theoretical fastest lap time we can currently now have is a 25. It's a 25.8. 25.8. Phil Garside's gone faster again in Sector 1. He's gone a 26.384. So he's gone green in Sector 1, but he's 2/10 off fastest time in that sector. So unless he can find something special in Sector 2, which is not his strong point at the moment. It's not his strong point as it stands. So, and it's really not really a strong point now. Michael Clough's going a bit faster. He's on his outlap, which is why it's coming up as he's going faster. Poddy Flack's not doing too bad. He's going a bit faster as well. He's 1.1 seconds. He crosses the line. Stays 10th. Doesn't go any faster. Derek Neal's popped him into 10th. What a result for Derek Neal. Gets himself into 10th. Alan Axon's gone into 8th. Andre Romi's down in 9th. We have 13 runners at the moment, all driving round. 3 drivers in the pits. What's our championship winner doing? He's fastest in Sector 2 by a hair's whisker. But can he convert this to a 129? He needs to get a 129.788 or lower. And he does a 129, 130.115. He closes the gap to 0.3 of a second, but not going to be good enough. Not going to be good enough. Stu Neal, great qualifier, but again, he's running the Pepper Army livery. Poddy Flex Pepper Army as well, Apex Predators, but this is the front wheel drive section, and it's just him at the moment. What can Stu Neal do? He's been mighty fast in qualifying, but Stu Neal's biggest problem isn't qualifying. It's converting the qualifying result to an actual position, and that's the problem he's had. Now he's going to go through Sector 1 as he comes down the hill, fast left-hander here, through the Graham Hill bend. That will take us to Surtees. He has been fast in other races. He was pretty fast here when we ran the Kidney, but so far he's not really materialising. 0.3 up. It's not even a personal best. His personal best is a 26.5. He did a 26.6. So it's nothing special. I think we might have Matthew Williams, he's in the pits. Andre Romy's going a bit faster. Green Sector 1. Can he get himself up top 10? Stays 8th. So at the moment, they are all holding station. And that's the thing, we've seen it, the difference is whether or not we think Lloyd, he's in second, what's he doing? No, he's not going any faster, he's in Sector 1, but he's in Sector 1 registered, because he's going through the pits. Stu Neal's got himself into third, a 22.70. Again, the theoretical lap time at the moment is coming on the board as a 129.61. When we look at Sector 1, Sector 2 and Sector 3 times. Poddy Flack is going faster through Sector 1 and Sector 2. There's yellow in Sector 2. At the moment, it is Alan McCain is currently off-road in Sector 2. He's just outside Sector 2 at the moment. What can Poddy do? He's only 1 second away. Can he get himself up into top 5? No, he stays down. That's that final sector, a 23.3. He lost it all in the final sector. So this is the problem they're having at the moment, is that they're not being able to hook up. Not one driver has been able to hook up any single sector time. Fraser Rostance is going through Sector 1, and again he's slower than his fastest. His last lap was a 26.4 and he did a 26.1. It's just not quick enough. It's just not quick enough. As he goes through Westfield, needs to come up to Sheen Corner, needs to keep this nice and tidy. No heroics here. He's on for a great finishing, but the problem Fraser Rostance has, the problem that Fraser Rostance has always had, it's not been the fact that he can't put it on pole position. It's not the fact that he isn't a quick driver, because he is. The problem he has is he comes around the final corner. Again, this isn't going to be anything special. They're all holding station. Andre's going a little bit faster because he's got in the pits. Matthew Williams currently up to 9th. The problem they're having at the moment is that they're just not being able to find the extra speed or those extra inches that they need. That's the problem. We do have Michael Clough is going faster. He's done a 26.550. Sector 1. They're all in the 26s. All drivers in Sector 1 are all 26s. It's very impressive. What can Michael Clough do here? Can he get himself up into... not with that, he isn't. That's going to be lap disallowed. 41.267, yeah. It's gone green. He's actually let off the accelerator there. So that's a no-go from him. Matthew Williams is going a bit faster, but he's going to run into the back of
Michael Clough, but Michael Clough has cleaned his tyres and got out of the way. So what can this man do here? Phil Garside is in 4th, yellow in Sector 1 for Fraser Rostance. He's recovered. I think he's gone off. But what can Matthew Williams do? Can he get himself up? Into 6th position he goes. So he's got himself a little bit faster. Fraser Rostance is currently still leading on a 129.788. But there is a potential for a 129.6. There's a potential for a 129.6. Because he doesn't hold all sector times. Right, let's see what Alan Axon's up to. 0.3 of a second, 0.2 of a second up. So Alan Axon, yeah, he's not really gained anything in any of that sectors. Phil Garside, early pace sitter, he has gone a little bit faster, but nothing really to write home about. 26.376, so he gets his sector 4 time up, but that's about it. Yeah, and now he's going again. Andre Torsen's going a bit faster. With 2 minutes remaining, I think this might have. They might have gone with early pace settings. They've all got pretty clear track now. Now Robert's joined, which will be very interesting. So Robert, this man here, is he in the pits? Yeah, so he's not going to start, I don't think. He's not going to have time to get out and do a hot lap, really. Yellow Sector 2. Car 6 is recovering at the moment. No, it's car 12. Derek Neal is currently parked off track. What can Romy do now? Romy should secure himself 2nd place in the championship because Alberti is no longer racing. But he wants to get another victory. He wants to leave this with another victory. That's the thing he wants to do. Robert's still in the pits. Now watch out for Robert. He did very, very well here in the changeable conditions. Weather is set to dry, so we're not going to see any of that. Alan Axon is going purple. No, it's gone green in Sector 1, but again, he's lost it all in Sector 2. 42.178 Sector 2, not good enough. Yeah, unless he's got a miracle, he ain't going to catch that now. He's gone in the pits. He's abandoned that lap. And I think Michael Clough is going faster, 26.525 in Sector 1. Sector 2 time, nothing impressive. Stu Neal has just done a 26.126 in Sector 1. Now, could this be the last-ditch attempt to take pole position away from Fraser Rostance? Phil Garside's just gone purple Sector 2. Well, he had before 40.900. It is on. Lloyd Biddulph, 26.156. It's heating up with the last lap of the qualifying session of the last. Oh, he's really pushing that. He's absolutely extracting everything out of that car. There's Robert. He's gone off the road. He needs to get out of the way. 3/10 down in Sector 3. He's not going to be able to get this up unless he's got one mighty Hail Mary. He's not going to really do this, I don't think. He's searching around for a perfect Sector 3 time. He's going to have to make up 0.4 of a second if he really wants to get anywhere. Lloyd, he's done. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it. 1:30.1. No, it's game over. It's it. It's done. What's Lloyd Biddulph doing? He's setting the timing screen to light now. Purple Sector 2. 0.2 faster than anybody in Sector 2. 40.670. Can he maintain this? Can he get the last pole of the season? Crosses the line. 1:29.611. That was the theoretical fastest lap time. And on the last lap of the qualifying session, he has put himself on pole position for the final race of the season. He absolutely found speed in Sector 2 to get the 1:29.611. Theoretical fastest lap time. It's been coming up, and he did it. He absolutely nailed it. Absolutely brilliant. Robert didn't really set anything from that position at all. But what a race. What a qualifying session. It kind of fizzled out and got a little bit mute towards the end. And then all of a sudden, they just went mad. So, confirmation of your provisional pole position. Oh, no. It's had a right. There we go. Let's get this right. Reset the system. So Lloyd Bidoff takes the last pole of the season. That's another one for him. Fraser Rostance was just pipped at the post. But watch out for Fraser Rostance. He's starting on the inside line. If he can get a good start, he can take the race victory, I think. And it would be really good for Fraser Rostance to have that. There's a lot of support. Neil, another great third. Phil Garside, fourth. Alan Axon, fifth. Clough is seventh. Romy is, seventh. Romy is seventh. Dory is eighth. Williams is ninth. Be interesting to see how he goes. 10th is Andre. 11th is Poddy. 12th is Derek Neal. Alan McCain is 13th. And Robert did not set a lap time. And that's how it stacks up. I haven't got the camera. I finally found the reason why it didn't work is because it's broken. So if for next season I will be back with a different camera. We're going to upgrade the box a bit, I think, and go for a nice new camera. But as it stands, absolutely sensational there from the drivers for the last race of last qualifying of the season. This is season 1 of the Next Gen Racing series. So if you are just joining us, this is the Next Gen Racing BTCC series on R Factor 2. Round 10, that's the day. I'm your commentator and your broadcaster. Mark Sykes is in the race director. Yeah, race director. He is the race director. So all the drivers will now get up and they will get themselves ready for their starting positions. And we have to find the starting order. So your starting order for race 1 is Lloyd Bidoff takes another pole with Fraser Rostance on second. Stu Neal's on third, good position for him, but can he convert? We will see. Phil Garside's in fourth, needs to stay out of trouble, real possibility of victory. Great result for Alan Axon from Trip 6 Motorsport, but again, consistency is lacking. Michael Clough, high position for him, sixth. Romy, once again, middle of the table, hasn't really materialised since the weight came on, and he was alongside Jamie Dory. Matthew Williams, new to the series at this race, alongside Andrew Torlasco. Poddy Flack is in 11th alongside Derek Neal. Great result for Derek Neal. And bringing up the rear on row 7 is Alan McCain by Robert. And for you fans at home, we are all secretly rooting for Robert. So many times he has had the possibility of taking a race victory, but he just hasn't converted it. Fraser Rostance is, I think, in race winning position for race 1. The problem Fraser Rostance is going to have is whether he can convert that from a race victory, convert it to a race victory, because as I've said before, time and time again, Fraser Rostance's problem isn't the fact that he hasn't got more speed, because he is. He's got absolutely exceptional speed. Fraser Rostance's biggest problem, unfortunately, I think, is himself. And as a result, he makes these silly mistakes, and then they creep in, and it just seems to spiral out of control. So for you Fraser Rostance fans at home, let's hope that he can this time get himself maintain that position. He's done all the hard work now. He's got himself up into that position. He doesn't need to do, he just has to keep it. Just basically don't be silly, but there we go. Right, they're all going to line themselves up. Robert's at the back of the grid, and somebody's out of position. That's Derek Neal. So Derek Neal was out of position. So here we go for the start of the final race, penultimate 3 race of the season. Hold on to your horses. 20-minute race, and it's lights out, and away we go. And Fraser Rostance has had a fantastic start, and look at Alan Axon. He's absolutely launched that bright yellow car. Into second he goes. Can he hold this from Fraser Rostance? down through Paddock Hill Bend up to Druids. They're all sorting themselves out as they go into Druids now. Fraser Rostance, oh, there's contact, absolutely carnage all over. Alan Axon is out, we'll hit the buffer button, we'll have a look post-race. I was absolutely on for that. Lloyd Biddulph has had the perfect start. Fraser Rostance and Stu Neal closely behind, but the poor Alan Axton on Phil Garside got tangled up there, and that's cost them dearly. You can see Matthew Williams is into fourth. Where'd he come from? Michael Clough is side by side. On the left side is Michael Clough, on the right side the bright yellow one, the quick fit one at the start. That is Matthew Williams as he got through just enough. Through the right-hander they go. Needs to keep this nice and tidy now. Oh, there's more contact in the background. Stu Neal there will look post-race. I think he had an accident all by himself. There's Robert, the big gainer on this. Riding on board with him is right behind Andre Romy. There's first, there's Lloyd Biddulph just going through the left-hander there. He needs to keep this nice and tidy now. Needs to do nothing silly as they come down towards the long right-hander. I don't know why it's called. It's called Clearways. I don't know why they call it Oak Corner, but there we go. A little bit of a sim twitch there in the background as they're all sorting themselves out. But at the front, Fraser Rostance is all over the rear end of Lloyd Biddulph. Lloyd Biddulph there, don't forget, has 75 kilograms on board that car. It will hurt him as we come into Druids. 5th, 4th, 3rd, into 2nd. Swings it into the right corner. He gets a much better line than Lloyd Biddulph. He can pick the throttle up earlier as we come down the hill to the left-hander. In the background there, that is Matthew Williams in the Duckmans. Right behind Michael Clough is in 3rd position, but Fraser Rostance is going for it. He's got a much better drive. Long right-hander of Surtees. He's got to keep this planted as we come down to Hawthorns. They are side by side now. Lloyd Biddulph will have the inside. Lloyd's on the left hand. Fraser Rostance, he's just absolutely out-accelerated him. I think Lloyd there let off the accelerator. Has Lloyd got a problem? No, he's in 5th, he's in 4th and 3rd. All the gears are shifting up in the right direction. All 4 wheels are pointing in the same direction, and he's got wheels on that wagon. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe there was a tap, maybe it blocked him. We might find out post-race, but at the moment, Fraser Rostance is leading Lloyd Biddulph from Michael Clough, who's being attacked by the man behind. That is Matthew William. Behind that is Jamie Dorian as we ride on board now with Robert. He's chasing Romy. He's chasing the pack. This is 7th, don't forget. There is 6th and 5th through the long right-hander of Clearways. This takes to Paddock Hill Bend as we ride once again on board with Andre Romy in 6th position. He's trying to look left. He's trying to look right. Down over the crest, Paddock Hill Bend. Down the gearbox he goes through the long right-hander. Needs to keep this nice and tidy now. Do nothing silly as we come up to Druids because he doesn't want to lose the 2nd in the championship. He can't afford a penalty. That's the problem he's going to have. Lloyd Biddulph hasn't dropped. Fraser Rostance in 2nd, but that's only a matter of time. They're currently 0.2 of a second. I think Fraser Rostance is dragging him along at the moment, so we'll see how that unfolds. Phil Garside has made his way back up to 10th with a fastest lap, a 1:30.61 second. Alan Axton is in 12th. Unfortunately, Alan had a fantastic start, but he just couldn't. There was an incident which we'll have a look at between the races. There's Phil Garside in 10th. Race winner, don't forget, but he's kind of now stuck in no man's land. Matthew Williams is closing to the back of Michael Clough. This is the battle for 3rd position, the last of the prize-winning positions. It'd be bronze ride, a little bit of a kick up the dirt there. He just gets a much better drive. He's able to go through the long right hands of Sheen Corn just so much better than the front wheel drive ahead. So at the moment, riding on board with Matthew Williams, it's a 2-way battle for 3rd. He hasn't really got anyone ahead of him, and he hasn't really got anyone behind him. The gap's a 2nd. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's a straight 2-fight bat at the minute. They have 2 drivers ahead have dropped, so Lloyd and Fraser Rostance are lapping faster, basically. Fraser Rostance, new fastest lap as it stands at the moment. So Fraser Rostance is currently leading in 1st position, and he's just on a 1:30.425. He's basically obliterated the field. He's got that gap up to 0.4 of a second. Question is, can he maintain that? That's going to be the problem. I've said it time and time again. Through the entirety of this season. The problem is Fraser Rostance has had, it's not the fact that he can't win races, because he has that ability. The problem he has is that he gets to the last 5 minutes and he crumbles. He checks himself out, so that's going to be the problem that I think he's going to have. But at the moment, yeah, Lloyd Bidoff is 0.2 of a second, but Lloyd gets a lovely little toe as he goes down Hawthorne's dip up to Hawthorne. So he gets a lovely little toe. Fraser Rostance has run wide. He's run wide. Lloyd's right on the rear end now. But you ain't going to go through Sheen Corner unless you've taken a massive brave pill. He's got to line him up now as you ride on board, going through the left-hander and back down to Clearways. That was Sterling's that we've gone through, and he's got to line him up. He's so close. He can smell the exhaust fumes. That's how close he is. The question is he going to attempt something into Druids with that weight on board, with the ballast on board? Second place man, Lloyd Bidoff, that one. Second car in your screen. It's going to really hurt him at the moment. And that's the problem he's going to have. The rest of the field is currently spread out. I think yeah, we'll keep an eye on this as it unfolds. But Andre Romy is going for a move here. He's going for a move on Jamie Dory. Jamie Dory's in 4th. Andre Romy's in 5th. Dory's run wide. Dory's run wide coming out of Paddock Hill Bend. Does Romy attempt to go up the inside? No, he doesn't. A little bit of a twitch there from Romy. And that's hurt him, hurt his tyres, hurt his chances of being able to extract a maximum out of that car. And that's cost him dearly. Nearly 0.2 of a second. He was so close. He could read the number plate. And now he's going to have to go to Specsavers. That's the problem he's going to have, going through the long left-hander here of Surtees as we go down into Hawthorne's. Needs to keep this nice and tidy. Poddy Flack is being passed by Phil Garside. Didn't see it, but there you go. It has happened. Matthew Williams. What happened to Matthew Williams? I think he's broken the car. That's a very broken car. Well, have a look as he picks up the throttle. I think that's a very... Yeah, that is a very, very broken car. Not sure what happened to him, but ooh, his suspension's bust. Yeah, that's 100% broken. So Andre Romy is finally got past Jamie Dory. The question now is Robert going to get past the man ahead as well? Is Jamie Dory going to lose 2 positions in 2 laps? You get the feeling here that Jamie Dory is just living on borrowed time. He doesn't have, at the moment, any real comeback for the man ahead. There goes Robert up the inside. No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it. In the background, that's Andre Loska in the BMW. Stu Neal, fastest lap, 1:30.284, but he's a lap behind. Ain't going to help him as it stands at the moment. And as you're riding on board with Robert now, it's a 3-way battle for 6th. Well, it's a 2-way battle now because he's made a silly mistake there, but he should get a lovely tow. 5th place man here, Jamie Dory, riding on board with him now. He's chasing the man ahead. That's Andre Romy, 2nd in the championship. Behind him, that is Robert looking for his first race victory of the season. Romy there braking a little bit early, but again he's carrying ballast on board. Jamie Dory not so much, so he can brake later. Dory can. Dory has that ability. Dory is the car store, the number 88 right in front of you. 2nd car in your picture. That's the man who's currently chasing down Romy because Romy chased him down, past him, and now it's roles reversed. Robert was right there, made a mistake. He is in the yellow Infinity. Holding on to that position. Fraser Rostance, the battle for the lead is kind of in the middle. Alan McCain, he's in the Lloyd, that's Dan Lloyd, not Lloyd Bidoff car, the 122. He's just kind of running around on his own. He's got faster at the moment. Alan Axon had that incident to begin. He's got the gap down to 2.8 seconds. He's lapping at the same leader as the same pace as the leaders. Right, Jamie Dory's back on the end of Romy, but Romy's just at the moment being very, very sensible as it stands. He's just defending the track absolutely superbly. He's doing all he needs to do because he doesn't really need to be. He can't win the championship. Unfortunately, where he is now, so he's just blocking every corner, but he wants to get himself into a position that he could take the honours of a race victory. Lloyd Bidoff has passed Fraser Rostance for the lead. We missed that off stream. I think Fraser Rostance, yeah, he went off track. It was a simple driving off track. as it stands. So, yeah, he missed that one, unfortunately. Jamie Dory is still attacking the back of Andre Romy. This is the battle at the moment between 4th and 5th position. These two have been absolutely loggerhead. And like I said, Fraser Rostance's issue isn't the fact that he can't win a race. Fraser Rostance's issue is that he does silly mistakes when he's such a fast driver. And that's cost him. Has it cost him the possibility of another, more silly mistakes? He can't be making those mistakes. If he wants to win a race, he can't afford to make simple mistakes like that. Not when someone like Lloyd Biddulph is chasing you down. Lloyd doesn't make mistakes. That's a real shame for the Fraser Rostance fans at home. I thought he would get a victory. He's got 2 more chances. So let's see what he can do in race 2, but then he'll be carrying ballast. And I think that's going to hurt him. And those 2 silly mistakes have cost him nearly a second. So he's now nearly a second behind Lloyd. As near as that makes no difference. And towards the back of the field. Phil Garside's making progress. Andre Torlaska is kind of holding stations at the moment. He's 2 seconds away from Robert. Robert was making progress on Dory, but that hasn't really materialised. He hasn't really gone further than that, so he's holding station at the moment. They're all kind of in a... They're all kind of just saving their tyres, I think. We've seen this from time and time again. There's always a little laugh emoji somewhere when I say touring car drivers are saving their tyres. But we've seen it time and time again. They tend to get into this phase of the race where they're just saving those little bit extras for the final 5 minutes, and then they start pushing hard. Fuel will be coming off the cars as well. We run default mods. Matthew Williams, real shame. Matthew Williams is a DNF. Stu Neal's still going for your Stu Neal fans at home. Started top of the tree. There was that incident at the start. We'll have a look at that post-race. But he's down in 13th now. Real shame for him. But again, his consistency is just, he's always managed to get him caught up in these little incidents and accidents, and it's cost him, I think, at least 2 race victories this season out. But that's the way it is. Same as Fraser Rostance, he's now near as enough makes no difference, a second behind race leader Lloyd Biddulph. And I don't think Lloyd's going to relinquish that, because at the moment, their last lap out, Fraser Rostance did a 1:30.425. Lloyd Biddulph did a 1:30.5. So he's closing the gap, but he's not closing it enough. He's just not doing enough. Fraser Rostance is just not doing enough. And it's 2 silly mistakes. Now he's just got to get his head down here, get himself in the clear and get gone again. Because he has that raw pace. We'll see what he's done on the last lap. I think that was Derek Neal. Well, it was somebody else. Or was that Alan McCain? No, it was Alan McCain. Alan McCain was inside. No, he's not going to do anything from here. We'll see what they do when they cross the line. 1:30.588 for Lloyd Biddulph. Fraser Rostance crosses the line now. Hits the cross. Yeah, no. He was nearly, wow. Lloyd Biddulph's last lap was a 1:30.922. This man here a 1:31.727. So his biggest problem is going to be Michael Clough in 3rd. Because Michael Clough is lapping a second a lap faster. Now the gap is only 2.7 seconds between 2nd and 3rd. So the question is, on the next lap, can Michael Clough, this man here, close the gap down to 2nd position? Can he get that gap down? Now Clough again has had issues. He just seems to lose pace. Romy's kind of broken away now from Jamie Dory in 5th. They're all kind of holding stations. They're all kind of lapping at the same speed. Now they've got a little bit of clear air between them. There's around 1.5 to 2 seconds on average between each car in the top 10, top 8 actually. they're all just holding station. Alan Axon has closed onto the back of Poddy Flack. Well, he's side by side with Poddy Flack. The question is, Poddy's not going to, there's no love lost between these two in other race series, so I can't expect Alan Axon's going to get past Poddy that easy. Poddy knows this track really, really well. He hates it, but he always seems to go well in other games. He's not really had a good time out. 131.487 was... yeah, it was a 130. It was a 144.975. Wow, he lost over 12 seconds. Poddy did in 10th on the last lap. There's Poddy. He's the BMW at the front. He's that pepperami one. Behind that, Alan Axon. Don't forget, there was that incident at the start, and that cost him oodles of time, which is why he's now running down all the way in 11th position. But can Alan Axon? Can he close this gap? Can he get this now to under striking distance? That's what he's got to do as we ride on board with him now. He's getting closer and closer and closer through Paddock Hill Bend. He's got less than 4 minutes to try and make this manoeuvre. The question is, he's gone for it. He's gone up the inside. He's got a fantastic run into Druids, goes down the gearbox. Gives just enough room by Poddy. Great racing, gets it done, nip and tuck. But is Poddy going to come back riding on board with him now? Poddy's gone from 10th to 11th. The question is, Poddy started 11th and he's back in 11th. Question is, can he do anything now with the remaining 3 minutes 41? Is it going to be too little too late? He wasn't driving that BMW in the second half of the season. I think that's properly hurt him. I think that's the problem he's had. He's just not been able. Yeah, no, I think that was all too little too late. Alan Axon's up to 10th now. He's going to try and want to get himself into a position, a race-winning position for race 3. Poddy has managed to close that gap back. It's not over yet. 3 minutes 15 remaining. Robert has closed the gap to the back of Jamie Dory. I'm keeping an eye on that as it unfolds. But Alan Axon and Poddy Flack are 2 by 2. He's done it. He's got past him at the moment. Right, Robert, where's Robert? He's in 5th position. At the moment, he's on the back of Jamie Dory. Dory runs wide. Dory's run wide. Has he been able to get past here through Druids? Needs to keep this nice and tidy. He's right on the rear end, holding all he can down into Graham Hill Bend, left-hander. That'll take us all the way to Surtees. The rear-wheel drive should be superior in the end of Sector 1 all the way to Sector 2 because it's rear-wheel drive. Doesn't need the front wheels, it just needs the rear wheel for the power. The problem he's going to have, time and time again, Robert always gets these final minutes of the race and silly mistakes happen. That's the problem. In the changeable conditions, he is absolutely on fire. But today, question is he going to get himself up into top 4? Well, he is if Jamie Dory does that. He's just run wide. He can't be making mistakes like that. He's done it again. He's made a mistake. Robert's just going to take the position from him. Real shame there for Jamie Dory. He had real promise. He's trying to fight back, but it's going to be a no-go, I think. They're both giving each other room. Just enough. A little bit of bounce across the curb. I think that was done for Robert. I think Robert has taken that position. Now the question is, can he close down 2? No, he won't. No, he won't. There's 2 laps to go, including the one they're on. Yeah, it's too much. That gap is too big to close unless he makes a simple mistake coming through Paddock Hill Bend. You can see Torlaska, Andre in the background in the BMW. I don't think he's going to do anything from here. I think that's going to be game over for that battle at the moment. Romy's onto the back of Phil Gar's side. So Romy's made a mistake. They're all just making mistakes. It's a very unusual. It might be the heat, the temperature, but they're all just making little mistakes time and time again. Now it's 46 seconds remaining, and Poddy Flack is on the back of Derek Neal. So Derek Neal has got past Poddy Flack. Derek Neal's got past Poddy Flack. What is going on? But they're not. They're all just making these silly mistakes. Now, we have been running some of the other tracks that we've run, they've got wider runoff areas, but they're all just making silly mistakes, and that's just costing them time hand over fist. Now, Jamie Dory hasn't let off the battle for the back of Robert. The question is, with 9 seconds to go, there'll be one more lap, including the lap we're on. Question is, can Jamie Dorey take this position? Can Jamie Dorey get 4th position? It's going to take an almighty mistake from Robert, the man ahead, to able to get that position. That's the issue. I think it's going to be game over. It's going to be game over. He's closed the gap up, but not enough. We'll follow Lloyd Bidoff to take another. Now, this should have been Fraser Rostance's. As you see Michael Clough in the background going off as well, this should have been Fraser Rostance's. And once again, those final 5 minutes have just cost him dearly. He's just so much on the cusp. Now, the problem is that he doesn't have, next time out, he won't have the advantage of having no ballast. And that's the problem he's got. Lloyd's going to hold the 75 kilo. He's already won the championship, so it's not too bad for him. Andre Romney's on the back of Phil Garside. But I don't, again, Romy hasn't really appeared at anything in the second half of the season. So he was absolutely all over it first time out. But yeah, it hasn't really materialised. Second half of the season, can he get Phil Garside in the last lap? The last 2 corners? Not like that, you won't. That's a punt from the rear any day of the week. Jamie Dorey did get past Robert. We saw that. He's going to hold on to that position as much as he can. Yeah, they're all just making mistakes. I don't know what's going on. It's very, very bitty at the moment in terms of the racing. But it takes it again. Where's Derek Neal? They're fighting at the back, but again, Derek Neal has Alan McCain. Alan McCain is the car behind. The question is, he should hold this position really in 13th. And Stu Neal is going to bring the car home in 13th position. A 1:30.284 for him, fastest lap of the race. Nobody can take that away from him. And Matthew Williams will be a DNF. So, confirmation of the final race of the season. Lloyd Bidoff takes another race victory from Fraser Rostance. It was Fraser Rostance's to lose. It should have been a Fraser Rostance victory, but it is what it is. Michael Clough is 3rd, Jamie Dorey is 4th. Managed to get that position from Robert in the end. Robert made a mistake. He's in 5th. Andre Torloska is 7th. Phil Garside by Andre Romy, by Alan Axton, by Poddy Flack. And then bringing up the rear, you've got Derek Neal. Great result for Derek Neal in 11th position. Alan McCain, good result for him, 12th. Stu Neal out of position. And Matthew Williams absolutely on fire until the last about 10 minutes, and then he just made a mistake. And that cost him. It's too many mistakes. There are too many silly mistakes. Average Joe, good morning and welcome to the final race, final stream of the season. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, I think. Ballast is reset. Well, Lloyd Bidoff is going to take the top of the stream. Right, let's see if we can fire up the replay function. Let's have a look. I'm really interested to have a look at the incident at the start of the race because they all had an absolutely brilliant start, but there was some silliness. It's final race of the season. I've seen it time and time again, unfortunately. We get to the final race of the season and people just go, nah, I don't have to fix it. So they just send it. That's what happens. Right. Right.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
They're going to get themselves ready while we have a look at this. Right. Let's have a quick look. So this is the start that we've got. So, did we get the incident? Yeah, we did. We got it. Okay, let's have a look. So, Alan Axon has an absolutely fantastic start. They're doing something. And he just he's just gone through the line here and absolutely nailed it. Unless this is now not working. Hold on. Let's go there and let's go there. as you'd expect, these things always work perfectly. And they don't work perfectly. Yeah, fantastic. So we don't have replay analysis because that's decided in the heat that it does not want to work. So we'll try and get that up and running if I can. Let's have a look and see if I can. There we go. So I've reset it. Fantastic. Right. So there we go. That's a bit better. So it's an absolutely solid start there from Alan. He's absolutely nailed that start. Stu Neal goes backward and Phil Garside's along. Now, Fraser Rostance was very, very unlucky at this position. So he just, at this point here, he is in third position by here. Now, Fraser Rostance started in second, and at this point, he's now into third. Alan Axon, absolutely fantastic start for him. He's on that side. The problem that he has, or the problem that then happens, is that as we get round now Paddock Hill Bend, Phil Garside runs a bit wide. So moving on. And he just... No, it isn't. It's Stu Neal. Yeah, I'd say that was a... So Phil Garside is here. Now he's going basically up the line. He's got nowhere else to go, and Phil Garside has to go there. But what we see is Alan Axon goes that way. That then forces Stu Neal to go this way. So if we slow this down, there's the turn. Then there's contact between Phil Garside and Stu Neal. That then starts the pirouette movement because now they're stuck. That pushes Stu Neal into Alan, and then they basically, both of them, go straight on. That's a very, very tricky one. Yeah, that's very tricky. Now, we don't have an additional camera angle. Yeah, that one's a bit tricky. So I'd say Phil Garside is just the unlucky recipient of that. I think he's the unlucky recipient of that incident, unfortunately. Yeah, so Phil Garside's the unlucky recipient. It would be between Stu Neal and Alan Axon. You'd need extra onboards for that. Because what you can't tell is there's a gap here. Right there. There's a gap. So if Alan has kept his wheels perfectly and straight, which he's entitled to do, then it's Stu Neal we can't see alongside. So Phil Garside for me is blameless. It's between Stu Neal and Alan Axon. If they're both equally to blame, it's a racing incident, to be perfectly honest. Because ultimately Alan and Stu are the biggest losers out of that. I do feel sorry for Phil Garside, but do I think he would have got any further up the line? Probably not. The only way I think Alan could be partially to blame is because there is a massive gap here. But again, yeah, it's one of those, I think. You'd need more camera angles. I think if there is blame and it's proportionate, it'll be a racing incident. But Phil Garside, for me, he's just an unlucky recipient of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Real shame for Alan. Real shame for Alan. I think he's going to be... That's a shame. It's just a shame. He's got a lot of work to do now. but he is unballasted, so we'll see how he goes. Quick look over on the streams. Lloyd, well done to all the T6. Well, yeah, 100%. Lloyd has absolutely nailed that front wheel drive this season out. Doug, unlucky Alan, yeah. Shame we didn't see the finish. Yeah, sorry about that. I do apologise. As always, I have been told I need to watch the finishing more. I tend to watch the action, so I do apologise that for Doug. Yeah, an unlucky Alan. It's just very, very unlucky. But yeah, congratulations, Lloyd. He's absolutely nailed that front wheel drive. Absolutely nailed it. And it's just absolutely brilliant. I mean, it was Fraser Rostance's to win this, and Lloyd has just kept a cool head. He's just driven superbly, to be perfectly honest. So well deserved. This one is this is the Stu Neal incident. Yeah, he had an accident all by himself. Yeah, nothing in that. So Stu Neal is there. There he is. Yeah, he just has an accident all by himself. That's Stu Neal. He runs wide coming out of Hawthorns. You can see the grass there. And by the time the camera's turned over, because we're watching Matthew Williams, there he is. He is over here. Yeah, he just has an accident all by himself. Nothing in that. It's his own doing, unfortunately. He can only really blame himself. But we've seen a lot of that. Oh, it's very lucky he doesn't collect anybody doing that. And then he's at the back. Yeah, so I think he takes the sign out. Yeah. So he hasn't really got anyone else to blame but himself for that one. Unfortunately, it's a real shame there from Stu Neal. He's shown promise again all through the season, but he just hasn't converted it. It's that age-old thing. And that's why Lloyd has just done so superbly well. I mean, I remember commentating on him in another league in Race Room, and he started off a bit shaky and then he just started to get better and better. And he plays the long game. He sits down and he thinks about the manoeuvres and he thinks about when he wants to overtake. He doesn't do anything silly, and it's just shown. And he's driven superbly with that front wheel drive, 75 kilos. He's the only driver to have 75 kilos on for more than 50% of the championship, and that's all 3 races included. He just seems to run around with 75 kilo on board, and because of that, when he's now unballasted, because he's had to have that penalty for so long, he's absolutely mighty. And all credit to him, absolutely all credit to him. He deserves it, to be perfectly honest. A very, very worthy champion. And I'm not saying that just because there is a lot of Lloyd supporters. You know me, for those of you that have followed my commentary for a very long time, I see it how I say it. And if I think a driver is not up to standard, I will, as always, call that out. The same as giving good racing etiquette as well. So, yeah. So at the moment, we've got about another 5-6 minutes of this practice session before we go into the warm-up for race 2. It's quite handy now. So what we're doing is we're actually watching Fraser Rostand, and we're seeing what type of speed he can actually do. What we don't know, well, we do know, is the speed of Lloyd, because Lloyd essentially has run around with 75 kilos, so we know his race pace is in the 131s. We know that. We've seen that. The problem, what we don't know, is what Fraser Rostand can do here, because qualifying pace and race pace are 2 different things. Stu Neal is fastest on 131.224, so it's going to be very, very tricky, I think. They've got a lot to play for. Still to go, 2 races left, and Lloyd could do the triple here. That's already been done by Alberti. Alberti's done the triple, and I think Lloyd's done the triple as well. Alberti was the first. Nobody can take that away from Alberti, but maybe Lloyd can do the triple. I think he's going to struggle in race 3 unless he gets some luck. Do I think he's going to win race 2? I don't know. Only because Robert's in 5th position. Now, the problem Robert's going to have, realistically, this man here, is his silly mistakes. Now, Clough hasn't made any mistakes. Can Clough take a victory? He can, but it's going to come down to Fraser Rostance. And it's whether or not Fraser Rostance is going to be able to maintain that pace. That's what's going to be the key here, I think. If Fraser Rostance can basically keep the car on the track, then... we had a little bit of a stop there from Michael Clough. So this is race 2. If you're just joining us, this is the last round of the Series 1 of the BTCC Next Gen Racing Series. That's the day I'm your commentator and your broadcaster. I push all the buttons while yelling at people. In Mark Sykes, he's in he is the race director today, so he's looking after all of the fine stuff. Brands Hatch GP, love this track, absolute great track. Track temperature is up now to 44 degrees. Air temperature has gone up as well, 21.9. This should favour the rear wheel drives now, purely because track temperatures are higher. The front wheel drives will go through their tyres quicker. Starting order. Start order is of a finished position of race 1. Lloyd alongside Fraser Rostance. Row 2, Michael Clough alongside Jamie Dorey. Can Dorey get a race victory? Unlikely, but we will see. On row 3, Robert, watch out for him. I'm expecting him, if he can get fast, is a race victory. Andre. Phil Garside's in 7th alongside Andre Romy, who's just trying to hold on to 2nd in the championship. On row 5, we have Alan Axoyne alongside Poddy Flack. Derek Neal alongside Alan McCain. That'll be interesting to see how they can convert those out. On row 7, we have Stu Neal and Matthew Williams. So that will be very, very tricky. It's going to be a tough thing for me, I think. Where do I put my 50p? Where do I put my 50p? I'd be a fool for not betting on Lloyd Biddulph. Championship winner already, race 1 winner with 75 kilo on board. But track temperature is up now, it's at 44 degrees. And we've seen before that those really hurt the front wheel drives. Robert's up in 5th, he's the highest placed rear wheel drive now. Do I think he can do it? Do I think he can do it? It's all going to come down to the start. If Robert can get a good start and be ahead of Jamie Dorey by lap 2, he has to clear Clough by lap 5. I think he'll pass Fraser Rostance. I think that's a done deal. It's going to be Lloyd that's going to be tough, because Lloyd is wily old fox. Matthew Williams bringing up the back of the field. We've only got 13 drivers. We have lost one already. Right, 5 seconds to go till race 2. Hold on to your hats, and it's lights out and away we go. And Robert has had a perfect start. He's got past Jamie Dorey even before the predicted lap 2. Question is, can he hold this on the outside into Druids? Needs to keep himself nice and tidy. They all file through into turn 1. A little bit of a touch there, a little bit of twitch as we go into Druids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All cars pointing in the right direction. Nobody skidded off this time. Absolutely sensational stuff as they all file through now down the hill to Graham Hill Bend, nice and tidy into Surtees. Roberts up, but already look at Phil Garside. He's got past Jamie Dorey in the 88. He's really not having a good time here. Phil Garside's past him. Alan Axon is right on his rear end, and in the background Matthew Williams is going side by side with Romy. The question is, well, it's not. He's gone round all of them. Absolutely sensational manoeuvre there from Romy. In the background you can see Romy and the BMW there side by side. That's very dangerous. Going through Hawthorns. Oh, he's gone off. Does he keep it on? Bang, bang, bosh. Massive crash. He's game over. That one's out. At the moment, Jamie Dorey, he is still there. He's side by side with Robert. He's fighting back. He's had a good run there, Robert. There goes. Michael Clough's gone off the road. That's the board. They've collected it. At the moment, Phil Garside's right on the rear end there. He's in 3rd position. Yellow flag, green flag, green flag. Keep an eye on that. Robert is side by side with Alan Axon. Alan Axon's got a fantastic run on the outside there. So has 2nd place man. No, he hasn't. Michael Clough is holding on. Phil Garside's right behind as well. We're watching this battle at the moment as it unfolds. There is Matthew Williams right on the left side as well. He's absolutely... Oh, contact in the background. Oh, they've just held on to that enough. Who's 1, 2, 3, 4 positions left? Matthew Williams down to 10th. Stu Neal's gone through. He's going to be livid with that. Not a happy boy. But Robert has been passed, but we saw that pass. Alan got a good run on Robert, got the job done, ticked the box. He's got himself up into 6th position. Robert's right behind him. They are all nose to tail at the moment. But the man at the back, Matthew Williams, has got a lot of work to do if he wants to get past. Phil Garside running on board with him now. We're on this onboard view. We'll see if we can change it. He's absolutely all over this. The question is now, can he do anything? We'll just have to go for that one. Through the right hand, there we go. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. Is he getting caught by Jamie Dory? Yeah, he is. Jamie Dory's closing the gap to him, 0.4 of a second at the moment. This is the big battle, the extended battle for the last of the prize positions, the bridesmaids to the bride. Lloyd's currently 2.4 seconds away from Fraser Rostance. Phil Garside's alongside. You're not going to go through there. Look at the opportunist move there from Jamie Dory. Has he got it done? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. Yes, he has. Absolutely magnetic stuff. One little mistake now from Phil Garside. That's cost him the position. He was challenging for 3rd. Now he's not. He's down to 5th. He's not going to be happy with that. He's going to have to reset all over again. Alan Axon's now also attacking. No, he isn't. Yes, he is. No, he isn't. They're side by side. These two are absolutely nose to tail. If they had any sense, they'd work together to catch the pack ahead. He's gone up the inside. Some very tricky manoeuvre. Pushed him a bit wide there, but he was alongside at that point, so I don't think there's anything untoward there. It's a bit naughty, but I don't think there's anything in it, realistically. I think that's reset all over again. Where's this Stu Neal? He's down in 8th position. There is 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th and 3rd. 3rd to 8th, nose to tail. The question is, riding on board now with Jamie Dory. He's in 4th, just ahead of that. Is in 3rd position. That is Michael Clough as we go down Hawthorns, up into Hawthorns and Hawthorns dip. That's Hawthorns the corner. At the moment, Michael Clough is defending because you get the feeling here he is blocking everybody. Lloyd is just doing qualifying laps. Phil Garside and Alan Axon, they've swapped positions. Oh no! A little bit of a tank slapper there. Has that allowed Alan Axon? Matthew Williams in the background. I think he's blown the car up again. So he's going to be going nowhere fast. Too much power at the moment. Through the left hander he goes. Needs to keep this nice and tight. Oh, he runs wide. Stu Neal's run wide. That's allowed him to lose that position. Alan Axon and Robert are refighting all over again. Alan Axon's the number 11 bright yellow car. The other yellow car at the front, that is Robert. Stu Neal's alongside Alan Axon. Stu Neal's the car on the left. The second car on the left. Boom, that one, the Pepper Army one. He's going up the inside of Alan Axon. These three have been nose to tail through the entire race. What a manoeuvre. He's left enough room there, just enough to keep the car in it, and he's done it. He's got that position sewn up. At the moment, Phil Garside is taking a completely different angle coming out of Druids. Quite an unusual line, but it's got him a bit further. At the moment, Michael Clough is stuck in 3rd. He's not going forward and he's not going backwards, but he's a massive cork in this bottle. He's holding up near as enough, makes no difference, 6 positions. So you just get the feeling here. Is he being a rear gunner here for Fraser Rostance? Is he being a rear gunner here for Lloyd Bidoff? Or is he genuinely struggling with pace? That's what we don't know. There's 14 minutes remaining. Tyres are going to be a problem here with 44 degrees track temperature. So ballast is not going to what you want. Alan Axon riding on board with him now. You can see here the extended battle is massive in terms of all the drivers. There's Robert just ahead of him. Phil Garside is right at the front of that battle. There he is riding on board now, Matthew Williams. He's got past Poddy Flat. The question is he going to make any progress? We're going to go back and join this battle for 3rd. This is the entire battle for 3rd. It is a 6-way battle for 3rd. The question is, who is going to be the big one? Who's going to be the winner? Who's going to be the loser? It's going to be 14 minutes to find out. Through the right hander, long up to Druids now. Phil Garside is getting a lovely little toe here from the back of Jamie Dory. He's not got a lovely toe. He's sailed it up the inside. Can he get the card? A little bit of an offload from the rear. Squeaky mum time. Holds on to just enough. Down the gearbox. 5th, 4th, 3rd. Into 2nd. Into Druid. A little bit of a tap there from the man behind Jamie Dory. Nothing into that. Roberts run wide. Once again, those mistakes are creeping in. Stu Neal's going to go out around the outside into Graham Hill Bend. Oh, a little bit of a twitch there from the rear wheel drive. Nothing in that, I don't think it was. He had a twitch all by himself. Stu Neal, the man just there, He let off the accelerator because he's like, I'm not interested at all. Phil Garside did finally get past Jamie Dory, but it was a little mistake in the background. There's so much changing, so many changing of positions. I'm trying to keep up. Stu Neal has got past Robert. Robert's gone back and lost another position. Phil Garside's running wide, and he's now attacking again for third position. We'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds on the board. Right, Phil Garside is on the rear end here. He's attacking for third position, don't forget. In third position, Michael Clough, the man ahead. In fourth position, that is Phil Garside. Number 66 in fifth, that is Alan Axon. Yeah, Alan Axon. That's the man who's in fifth position. So at the moment, it is all over again. Alan Axon, once again, is going to try to go in. Not going to go up the inside there. You're just not going to do that. That's a very... You can just see a little bit of frustration creeping in there with Alan. Might have caught that on stream. But again, do I think Robert was going to hold him off? Realistically, no. I think Robert's going backwards fast. They've gone side by side all the way through. Can he hold it into Druids? He's going to have to be really careful because that rear-wheel drive, Robert takes a much better line through there, and Alan's going to have to concede, yeah? It was very, very tricky, but now Robert's just run off the road. He's just made a mistake, and Alan's gone, thank you very much, licks his chops, off he goes into seventh position. Absolutely on it. Phil Garside is at the back of Michael Clough again. You get the feeling here that Phil Garside could, if he can pass, Michael Clough can attack for the lead. Because I think he's nearly a second faster now. He's looking left, he's looking right. The problem is, that man there, Phil Garside, as we ride on board now with Jamie Dory. Jamie Dory's in fifth. He has to attack Phil Garside. Phil Garside's going to go up the inside. He's going to go up the inside. Abs to Surtees. Absolutely sensational. But they've both cost themselves oodles of time. And Jamie Dory managed to go past. So does Stu Neal. Absolutely magnetic stuff there. The problem is, can Phil Garside now make this work for him? That's the problem Phil Garside has, is that historically he just does silly things time and time again. Alan Axon's at the back. Robert in eighth. He's completely disappeared now. He's absolutely nowhere to be seen. He's not been able to keep up. Phil Garside's made a mistake. Phil Garside's made one tiny mistake out of Paddock Hill. Jamie Dory is going up the inside into Druids. Jamie Dory's car on the left. He's now on your right, the Pepper Army car. Stu Neal, that's the number 4, second car on the left. Is he going to go through? Phil Garside's managed to hold it on to the outside as much as possible. They're all trying to muscle their way through. Phil Garside, he will be on the inside going into Surtees. Now he has to leave one car's width. He has no options. No, he's let that go. No, he hasn't. The problem is, if he makes a mistake, he's going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, but he just holds it enough. These 4 are absolutely nose to tail. Nearly a massive accident there from Phil Garside. Run wide. Phil Garside's run wide. That's forced Jamie Dory wide. And Stu Neal goes into third. Phil Garside holds the position. Absolutely new pants change time, and he's got past Stu Neal. So Phil Garside runs off the road, comes back on, and everyone avoids him, and he stays third. But Stu Neal's the big profiteer from that. Absolutely magnetic stuff. The rest of the field is kind of spread out at the minute, so we're just keeping an eye on this midfield battle with 10 minutes to go. Alan Axon in the background there, going up the inside of Jamie Dory, but you don't know who's going to win this. Who is going to be third, because Alan Axon, car on the left, he was third, then he was fifth, then he was third, then he was fourth, and now he's all the way back in seventh. With less than 9 minutes to go as they come down Paddock Hill Bends up the hill to Druids. The question is, who's going to hold on to this now? Stu Neal is right onto the back of Phil Garside by less than 1/10 of a second. But yeah, as Phil Garside cooked his tyres too early, has that compromised his ability to extract the maximum? Now Stu Neal is unballasted, so Stu Neal here really needs to extract more performance from that car. He's less than 8 minutes remaining now of race 2. It's the penultimate race of the season. He's got to get gone. Lloyd Biddulph is 5.6 seconds ahead of Fraser Rostand. He's at 5.4. But the problem is, all these 5 drivers have basically been Phil Garside's run wide. Stu Neal follows him off the track. Oh, he keeps it on just enough. Absolutely keeps his foot planted to hold the position. They all try and avoid him and he holds on to it. You get the feeling it's only a matter of time before Phil Garside extends his luck too much. Phil Garside's the man ahead. As we ride on board from Alan Axon, he's at the back of this pack at the moment. He's in 7th position. This is the battle, says the battle for 4th. It isn't, it's the battle for 3rd. This is the battle for 3rd. It's a 5-way battle for 3rd at the moment, and Michael Clough is the burger between the buns as he sits in the middle. And the problem he's going to have is he's got to think about the ballast on board. He's got to think about his tyres. Did they put enough fuel in the car? We saw last time out Stu Neal was on for a top 3 finish, ran out of fuel. Jamie Dory's got alongside. Michael Clough into Druids. Is he alongside enough? Alan Axon will follow him through in the Trip 6 Motorsport number 11. Question is, did he follow him through enough? No, he didn't. Michael Clough holds that position. The problem Michael Clough has, he's run wide again. He's run wide all on his own. He's out there with nobody but himself to think about, and that's cost him one. Oh, there's contact. There's contact in the background once again. More contact. We'll have a look at that post-race, and Robert mugs the lot of them. So Robert goes, thank you very much. Absolutely takes his chops off. Now the problem is that Alan Axon is a Trip 6 Motorsport driver and Michael Clough is a Trip 6 Motorsport driver. So 2 Trip 6, and Rule 1 of league racing is do not take out a fellow racer from the team that you're driving with. That's like Rule 1. And yeah, they're going to have to presume there's going to be some conversations about that post-race. We'll have a look as it unfolds. But that battle has unfolded. Stu Neal now free from the clutches of Jamie Dory. You can just see Jamie Dory in the background. Free of his clutches, can now start to make some progress. We'll see what Phil Garside did on the last lap. He did he had his lap, he ran off, didn't he? So he had his lap disallowed. He's doing 131s. He's absolutely doing what he needs to do. The question is going to be, can he get any closer? Can he close that gap? Can he get himself passed into 3rd position? He has had 3rd before. He was leading before, but they slip away. They make silly mistakes. That's the problem they've got. Now, Jamie Dory has closed the gap to less than 0.5 of a second. So if he can keep this pace up, he's on for a real winning position here. The question is, can he extract this? I think the attack from Stu Neal is over for Phil Garside. I think Phil Garside's very lucky. Riding on board now with Jamie Dory. He's down in 5th position. Just ahead of him is Stu Neal. And I say just ahead, he's right on the rear end. Does Phil Garside manage to keep it on the track? Yeah, just enough. All 4 wheels pointing in the same direction. The question is, can Jamie Dory do anything now with less than 5 minutes remaining? It's going to be tricky, I think, for him to be able to exploit the advantage. I say that, he's just got off the track. Ran off the track, Stu Neal there, and that's put him into prime time position for Jamie Dory. Jamie Dory here is on to try and go up the inside. Stu Neal's gone defensive into Paddock Hill Bend. He's gone to the right, but he's going to have to try and hold this as much as possible. Jamie Dory's going to go for the old switcheroos as he comes down the hill. Can he get the car turned? No, he can't. In the background, Robert's gone off into the Kitty Little all by himself. He just couldn't get that done. He couldn't get it done. Stu Neal covered him off just enough that he could not get the car in front. He couldn't get that car into that position. Phil's run off the road again. They're all starting to run off the road with less than 4 minutes remaining. Once again, we are starting to see these silly mistakes creeping in that we've been seeing all day. Don't know if it's the heat, I don't know if it's just the track, but this is a track that punishes you. It's silly mistakes cost you, tenths of a second. Lloyd Biddulph now extending his lead at the front. He's just consistently lapping in the 131.8. And the problem is, he has got the fastest lap on a 130.750. The problem he's had, or the benefit he's had, is he's ballasted, he's managed his tyres, he's managed the race, he's lost 0.3 of a second in that last lap to Fraser Rostans, but he's just consistent. He's just kept it on the tarmac. And Fraser Rostans with the ballast just hasn't been able to challenge him, and the rest of the field have been squabbling in the 132s. Phil Garside will cross the finish line now. Yeah, and Phil Garside is now, because he is released from the battle, he is now faster than Lloyd Biddulph. So Lloyd's lapping in the 132s, mid to top 132s. Phil's doing 131.9s. He's faster, but he's run out of time. It's 3 laps, including this one. He's run out of time. So Phil Garside's going to have to settle for third. He's just got to keep it on the tarmac, as Robert just sends it off all by himself. And again, this is what we've seen time and time again. We've been seeing these silly mistakes. Now, Jamie Dory's as close as he's ever been so far. He is 1/10 of a second behind. Has Stu Neal been compromised by the ballast on board? Is that going to hurt him in the final 2 laps? He's run wide, yes is the answer to that. It is a silly mistake, and once again a silly mistake has cost Stu Neal a high finishing position. He's trying to challenge to go up through the right hander of Sheen, a little bit of a bang there. Pushed him wide, but Dory will keep that. He'll probably flash his lights, to be honest. It's a little bit rough on the corner there, but that's one for the stewards to decide, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah, he's a bit naughty, but it is what it is. I've seen it the other way around as well this season. So, will it come of anything? Probably not. Last race of the season, which I'm expecting to be quite door-banging, shall we say. Poddy Flack, not really talked about Poddy Flack. He's running around in the 133.6s. Not really setting any timing screens alight. To be perfectly honest, he's kind of running around on his own. Lloyd is a minute away from, it's a 131. We'll get one more lap, including this one. Andre Romy and Alan McCain are both DNFs. We'll keep an eye on Lloyd as he comes up. He's on the penultimate lap, and we'll get one more go around. Jamie Dory is going to attack for the back of Stu Neal once again. The question is, can he keep this up? Can he keep this pace up? He's 4/10 away. Now, he was closer on the last lap, but we all know how that ended. He's got to keep pushing it. He's got to keep. He can't be doing silly stuff like that. He's got himself a little bit closer now, but what he has to do is he has to force. He's going to do the manoeuvre. He's going to reverse the. He's a little bit of a touch in the back there. He shouldn't have done that. He needs to line him up going into Druids. The question is, can he remain close enough to do that? Now, Lloyd Biddulph, yeah, he's going to stop to see if he can finish the line. So that is the last lap. Lloyd Biddulph is your winner, I believe, followed by... No, he isn't. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Lloyd Biddulph nearly made the biggest mistake I've seen him ever make. He thought he could cheat the last lap. Now this is going to be a problem. Fraser Rostans has consistently in the last 2 laps been faster than him. But I don't think it's be too much. Right, Jamie Dory is attacking Stu Neal for the last position. So Lloyd Biddulph, has he got it done? A little bit of a onto the grass there. Jamie's going to give him just enough room, return the favour, fling it up the inside, but the problem he's now got is Stu Neal is going to nip and tuck up behind him. Well, he's not. He's overlapped. He's at the B pillar. So the question now is he going to be able to go side by side through Hawthorns? You can go 2x2 through here, but someone has to leave room. Jamie Dory's left room, but that's cost him. That's got him done. He's finished the position. The question now is the Pepperami boy? He runs wide. Stu Neal again making silly mistakes. Lose out to Michael Clough. He's lost out to Michael Clough. The question is Michael Clough going to take it right? Let's follow Lloyd as he crosses the line. I'll keep an eye as that battle unfolds. But Lloyd bit off is going to do the double. He nearly lost it. He's going to cross the line, and then we'll go back to the Michael Clough as is unfolded. So he takes his second victory of the night. Fraser Rostance is in second. Phil Garside will come home in third. Jamie Dorey just holds fourth. Michael Clough in fifth. Stu Neal, again, silly mistakes. Silly mistakes has cost Stu Neal a high finishing position into sixth. Alan Axon was kind of on his own in seventh. Robert, again, silly mistakes. Silly mistakes there. It's cost him eighth. Poddy Flack is in ninth. Matthew Williams, he needs to work on his consistency a bit. First time I've seen him racing, doing very well. Derek Neal will bring the car home in 11th, and Andre Romy and Alan McCain are both DNFs. So, confirmation, as always, of your finishing results. Lloyd Biddulph takes the double. Well, he nearly lost it, to be honest. He tried to cheat the system and finish early, but he crossed the line and the game kept going. So he lost that lead, but again, he finishes in first. Fraser Rostance is second. Phil Garside is third. Jamie Dorey is fourth. Michael Clough is fifth. Stu Neal shouldn't have finished fifth. He should be top three. But it is what it is. Alan Axon, again, coming together with Michael Clough, so we'll have a look at that. Robert is just made mistakes all on his own, is in 8th. Poddy Flack is 9th. Matthew Williams is 10th position. And then in 11th, Derek Neal, good result for him. Andre Romy and Alan McCain are DNFs. A great result, as always, a double there for Lloyd. Question is, can he take the triple for the last round of the season? Right. If you're new to the stream, hopefully this does actually work. Yes. The finishing positions between race 1 and 6 are automatically reversed for race 3. And then we use this random generator. So I'm going to hit the shuffle button a couple of times. That will randomly generate the numbers. And then we'll hit the spin button. And this will determine the positions for race 3. And it is going to be position 10. So position 10 will start on pole position, which will be very, very exciting, I think. Right, we are going to have a look. I did get some post-race stuff, and we will have a look. I've just got to go to race control and let them know that we are reversing the grid at that position. If you're interested, I did see a comment, how can I join for Season 2? Get yourself on Discord, and on to Discord's the best place, really. So we are on Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook, and you can also follow us on the YouTube. That's where all the videos are. And, yeah, get yourself on. That's the best way of doing it. There's a great set of drivers. They'll always help you out. And they'll teach you. It's a modded game. It's very tricky. There's lots of settings that you have to do and things like this. And they're a great bunch. Absolutely fantastic. They do hold other races as well. They also have a next-gen iRacing series that races touring cars, so you can have your touring car fix on that as well. And always like and subscribe, share as always. This will come through. Right, let's have a look over at some of what we caught on stream. Right. Let's see what we got. As always, this is done live, and because it's done live, we always have some issues, unfortunately. Right, let's have a quick look before we go into the final race of the evening. This is... I don't think this is... Yeah, this is one of those... This is the... again... So, this is where you need inputs. This is why I always say... I'm looking at the camera, but the camera doesn't work because it's broken. But this is where we only ever get one viewpoint. And that's always key to remember. Because we only get one viewpoint, we can only see things through one view. So... the way, and I read it as I say it. So again, looking at Alan Axon here, and I do feel sorry for him because essentially I just keep picking him up, is Michael Clough is going for the corner. Now Alan is entitled, he's entitled to space. And this is what I will say, it'll come down to that. But from that camera angle, it looks like Alan is going straight. And effectively, Michael is leaving him space because I'd expect Alan to follow Jamie Dorey, but in this camera angle, it doesn't look like it. So for me, and then he makes contact. He just makes contact with the back of him. And then he has an accident all on his own. So the way I read this is it's going to come down to space and steering wheel input. If Michael Clough has basically oversteered into the corner and not left enough space for Alan, then I would say if he's oversteered, so basically provided more input to the steering than he should have done, and then Alan has kept the steering wheel straight when he can clearly make the corner, they're both at fault. And I say it was a racing incident, they're both naughty, they shouldn't have done it. If Michael has left room but Alan has not, and he continues to drive straight to the point that they make impact, because from this camera angle, and again I say this camera angle, there is all this space here. All of that space. Now it depends whether he goes in. Now he could have lost the rear end as well. So if he could have made the apex and decided not to, he just kept the steering wheel straight, and that resulted in the contact, then it's Alan's fault. Essentially, Michael didn't really lose anything, I don't think, towards the end, but it is what it is. Now the issue is going to be is that these two drivers are both Trip 6 Motorsport drivers. So they'll probably have a conversation by themselves, but that's the way I look at that one. It's going to come down to steering inputs. If Alan Axon, which is this car here, if he stayed straight and didn't turn the wheel or attempt to make the corner, and Michael didn't over input to the steering, then it's Alan's fault. If they both did that, it's their own fault, unfortunately, and that's how I'd read that incident. Somebody might say, nope, Andy, I don't agree with that. But again, I can only go on the camera angles that I have. This is, let's have a look at this one. Yeah, this one isn't Alan's fault. So, Alan, and it comes down to where Alan is in relation to the other car. And there's Robert, there's Alan. So if I put an arrow, he's effectively alongside of him. He's alongside of him. Alan is entitled to that piece of road. He's alongside at that point. Now what you'll see is that Robert attempts to go for the corner, and Alan's already there, and Alan's got nowhere else to go. And contact's inevitable. So, yeah, Alan is... It's not Alan's... I'd say that was blameless, to be perfectly honest. I think Alan did lose the position in the end, but nothing for Alan there, really. Robert's, I would say, if that came to anything, Robert would be the one that would have to answer to the stewards. What would the penalty would be, I don't know. But effectively, that would be a Robert would have to answer the stewards on that one. And that's how I read that one. It was very, very busy in race 3. Race 2. And this is... Oh, this is... There's nothing in that, really. It looked a bit more dramatic than it did. So, Phil Garside, here, decides to go and get himself a McFlurry by driving off over here somewhere. Now, he goes onto the grass, keeps his foot firmly planted. Jamie Dorey decides to follow him. That's Jamie Dorey. So Jamie Dorey loses out. Stu Neal then goes, well, I'm just going to go over here. Phil Garside keeps his foot firmly planted on the go pedal. And he doesn't lose any position. The one that loses out of that is Jamie Dorey to follow him through.
All non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
So, yeah, I don't... Nothing into that, really. Did he gain an advantage? You could argue maybe, but the only person he lost out to was Jamie Dorey, really, and Dorey followed him through as well. So I don't think there's anything in that, to be perfectly honest. I think that's completely... I would read that as a nothing incident, to be perfectly honest. It is as it is. Right, we're going to go across to the last race of the season. I'll have a quick look in the chat before I go as well. So if you're just joining us, this is the last race of the season for the Nxtgen BTC series. This is round 10, Brands Hatch GP, and it is a toasty 37 degrees. Track temperature has actually come down. It was 44. Weather is fair, which means it's hot. 13 cars in. Matthew Williams will be starting on pole position. So will we see a new pole sitter this time out? Sorry, a new race winner. Now, the problem that Matthew Williams has had is he seems to break the car within the final basically 12 minutes of the race, which is never good. So can he sort him out? Rob Poddy's in second, Roberts in third. So Lloyd might struggle here to get the triple, but we will see. So your starting order for the last race of season 1 of the PTC series. Matthew Williams starts on pole alongside Poddy Flack. Roberts on third, while Alan Axon. Any 4 of those could win. On row 3, Stu Neal by Michael Clough. On row 4, Jamie Dory alongside Phil Garside. On row 5, we have Fraser Rostance, but along with his old buddy Lloyd Biddulph. On row 7, we have Derek Neal and Andre Romy. And on row, bringing up the rear, we have Alan McCain. So, odds on 50p. Where do I put my 50p? I'd like to see Robert win a race. I'd like to see Robert or Alan win a race, to be honest. I mean, they've always been there through the season. They've just been there. They've just been on the cusp. But they just have to not make so many silly mistakes. If they make any silly mistakes, I think it's just going to cost them. That's the problem they're going to have. I would like to see Stu Neal take a victory, but I think the challenge Stu Neal has, and I have told him in previous seasons, it's the silly mistakes. It's just costing him now. And when you have the field that's driven together for so long, and because they know each other, and they know how they drive, and they know their driving style, they've got that ability now that they can just extract more from car. So yeah, it's going to be tricky. I think it's going to be very, very tricky. Let me know your predictions in the chat in terms of who we think we are. Luke Manley, is it Manley? Manley? Sorry if I got your name wrong. Nice to see you. Paul Wallace, yeah, get yourself over into the Discord. Just look for Nxtgen Racing in Discord. That's where you will find us. Get yourself involved. Congratulations, Lloyd. Well done. Yeah, 100%. He properly deserved that, to be honest. He just did. He just deserved it. He's worked hard all season for that position. Right, the question now is, who is going to take the final race of the season? Who is going to be victorious? Is Lloyd going to be able to get the triple for the last race? Are we going to see another new race victor this season out? There's 13 cars left, 13 cars for the final race of the season. It's going to be 6 seconds to go. Get yourselves ready. Engine notes will rise. Will he take it? Will he be victorious? And it's lights out and away we go. And look at Alan Axon once again. Fantastic start. But he's going to go into a gap that's only going to close. He's thought better of that one. Hits the brakes ever so slightly. Fantastic stuff. Through into the right hander of Paddock Hill Bend. They've all got themselves through one by one at the moment, holding it nice and tight. Trackside at the front, you've got Matthew is leading, but Alan Axon's holding on to the 4th position. He's doing a little bit of a tail switch there. Oh, accident already, an accident already. I think that's Poddy Flack. Poddy Flack has checked himself out. That's put Stu Neal back into 3rd position. Alan Axon's holding. You can see in the background the massive 2x2s as they go through. Phil Garside once again attacking his old buddies, Michael Clough and Jamie Dorey. Lloyd Biddulph's up to 8th. He started 10th, don't forget, he's now into 8th, so he's making progress. Fraser Rostant's in 9th and holding station. Fraser's got to make some difference here if he wants to move it through the front. There's Fraser Rostant's through the right-hander, green flag waving. It's go, go, go for the final 20 minutes of this race. Phil Garside's alongside Jamie Dorey once again, holding it nice and tight. It looks like we've spent most of our time looking Phil Garside this time out. He seems to be getting a lot of airtime. That's because he's absolutely pushing it with Jamie Dorey at the front. Matthew Williams has made a 1.2 second lead at the front. He's just got to keep it on the black stuff, and that's the big thing in the middle of the road. Stu Neal riding on board with him now. He's alongside with Robert going into turn 1. Can he get this done? No, he can't. He didn't get the legs. Robert absolutely doing what he needs to do to hold that position, but you get the feeling here that Stu Neal is just a moment, hair's whiskers away from doing what he needs to do through the right-hander here of Paddock Hill Bend. Down the dip they go, over 110 miles an hour as they come up to the top of the hill. A little bit of kick of dust there. He's okay, that's fine. In the background, Romy's running wide again, and Derek Neal will pass him in the back. That's Alan McCain. So there's Derek Neal. He's gone 2x2 side by side, holding on to that position. Just enough. We leave that battle and rejoin the battle for 2nd position. There is 1st place man Matthew Williams. He's not making progress. He's fastest on 1:37, but you get the feeling here, Stu Neal, if he can clear Robert in 2nd position, he has a real opportunity of taking his 1st race victory this time out. I know he wants it. I know he'll be super happy with that, but he's got to keep his head in the game. He's too many silly mistakes he's had. Too many stupid things he's done. At the moment, that's not Matthew Williams' engine blowing up. They're just running wide at the moment as we ride on board now with Michael Clough. He's in 5th position. He's all on his own at the moment. As you see, the front one, Stu Neal has gone up the inside into his favourite overtaking position into Surtees, but that just hasn't happened. Just hasn't happened. Hasn't got that done as they come out now of. That was Shane. This is Surtees. I'm on the completely wrong, different track. That's the problem that you've got here. Through the right-hander they go. Needs to keep this nice and tidy into clearways. Out of clearways they go. Down the start-finish straight. Robert's really struggling with that rear-wheel drive at the moment. You can see it twitching absolutely everywhere. Lloyd Biddulph is on the backside here. Jamie Dorey, has he gone up? Has he gone? There he is. Phil Garside, no. It's reset all over again. Lloyd is stuck in 7th position at the moment. He hasn't really made any progress, but he's got just over 15 minutes to do this, so he could get himself. Stu Neal is side by side with Robert as they come out. Robert's going to hold that position at the moment, but this is playing into the hands of Matthew Williams. 1.5 seconds at the lead. Look at Alan Axon. Alan Axon in the background. He's going to get past Stu Neal. He's not wanting to get any silly mistakes here. He's 2x2. Has he got a much better drive? He'll be on the outside of that turn. No, he isn't. Yes, he is. No, he isn't. He's alongside now, and behind that, that's Michael Clough. There is Michael Clough, right side. 1, 2, 3rd, 4th car in the row. There he is. He's going to go around. These two are coming together in the last race. They need to give each other space, otherwise there's going to be another accident. Lloyd Biddulph in the backside. Romy's gone off again. He's gone off again. And Michael Clough's gone off the road. He's run off the road. Jamie Dorey, Alan Axon, Phil Garside and Lloyd Biddulph are all going to mug him. The lot of them are going to mug Michael Clough. One mistake and he's lost 4 positions in less than 2 corners. Now Lloyd is going to have the inside crucially coming out of clearways, and that's what he needs. He needs that position. He needs to get going, and yeah, his job done really. Clough doesn't really fight that, I don't think. He's pushing and pushing and pushing, but not enough. Because again, Trip 6 Motorsport driver, Trip 6 Motorsport driver. And as a result, it means that they are really pushing through the right-hander, down in Anna Druids, up now the hill. The question is, where's Stu Neal? Stu Neal is right on the back of Alan Axon. So Alan Axon's into 3rd now. Stu Neal made a bit of a mistake as we were watching the Lloyd Biddulph Phil Garside battle progressing. As I said, there's so many battles going on. It's hard to keep up with who's doing what at the moment. But as they're all fighting each other, it's playing into the hands of our current leader, Matthew Williams. first time racing with us this week. And race 3, is he going to be a potential race winner? Is he going to turn up, take the victory, check himself out, and retire? That's going to be the question. At the moment, Alan Axon has broken away from Stu Neal, but as we ride on board with Lloyd Biddulph down in 7th position, you can see here the battle is all the way up to 4th position, and it's not 4th, it's actually up to 3rd, because Alan Axon, there is Alan Axon just ahead. As you see there, Dory's run wide, Neal's run wide again. The silly little incidents from Stu Neal is going to cost him another position. As you can see, Phil Garson, massive contact in the background. How many cars? 1, 2, Lloyd Biddulph's off, Clough's off, they're all off. Oh my God, it's absolute carnage, absolutely everywhere, all over the road. Lloyd Biddulph, safety car deployed. Is it going to pick up Matthew Williams? No, is it going to pick him up this lap? Where's the safety car? Matthew Williams' lead is gone. No, it is absolutely gone. It's picked him up. He's going to not be happy with that. He's going to have to get behind the safety car. Come on, safety car. There we go, it sorted itself out. Safety car sorted itself out. They've absolutely cannot believe it. Cannot believe that. Absolutely. That's cost them so much time. That's not good. Absolutely not good. They're not going to be happy with that one, to be perfectly honest. It's silly mistakes, silly mistakes like that cost victories. That's the problem. Now, Phil Garside, Alan McCain's gone in the pits. Is he going to get enough time to come out? You have to wait for the lights to flash, stop flashing on the car. So it'll possibly be a 2-lap safety car. So it'll be about a 9-minute sprint to the end of the lap. Race control is coming on. Not yet. So safety car's deployed, waiting for race control confirmation of when the safety car will be put back in. We will see if it does another lap, and then we'll go across. So we'll quickly go across to the replay, and let's have a look if I caught that on. I did. I think I got this at the tail end. I'm just watching the safety car lights. No, they're still deployed. So this is what brought the safety car. I don't know what he's doing. That is Phil Garside 100. Yeah, so for the Phil Garside fans at home, I'm very, very sorry, but there's Phil Garside. Now, he's trying, I think, to avoid Jamie Dory. So Jamie Dory's going this way, Stu Neal's going this way, Lloyd is right behind him, and for reasons I don't understand, he goes like this. Oops. He goes like that. That then makes contact at this point here, and that's what brings the safety car out. He avoids him. Boom. There's the contact. And that's I don't know what to say to that one. To me, that's very, very silly. It's a silly, silly manoeuvre. He's only got himself to blame, and unfortunately the recipients of that, Lloyd then gets on the grass. I mean, that car will be absolutely, Phil's going to be trashed. And Lloyd Biddulph, it's all going to come down to the damage that he suffered. So hopefully, I don't think he makes contact again. No, he doesn't. I don't think he makes contact again. But it's just, silly. That was a silly manoeuvre there from Phil Garside, 100%. As far as I would be concerned, that would be a Phil Garside penalty. You can't really blame anybody else from that, to be perfectly honest. It is him on his own. It will be a 9-minute sprint now to the end. Matthew Williams is currently leading from Robert, from Alan Axon, from Stu Neal. As it stands at the moment, I'm going to use this feature and see what this does. It says, so that's how it currently selects at the moment. Williams from Robert, Alan, Stu Neal. You can pause that and read it back later, and then Derek Neal, Podiflack, and McCain. But We are going to go racing in momentarily, because they are making their way round now through Sector 2. Safety car lights are out. He's going to Matthew Williams. The question is Matthew Williams, what can he do now? He had over a 2-second lead. His only saving grace here, I think, is to back up Robert into Alan, really, and hope that Alan attacks Robert for the final about 7 minutes of the race. I think that's going to be Matthew's saving grace. Now, does he go before the line? Now, because it's front wheel drive and rear wheel drive, I would probably wait right until the line before hitting the go pedal, which he's entitled to do. He's slowing the car down now, so he's entitled to do this. Basically, he doesn't have to wait for anybody else. He's just got to hit the go pedal and go for it. If you're just joining us and he's gone early, he's absolutely hit it early. I wouldn't have gone there because he's going to give a slipstream to Robert. That's the problem. Does he get it? He's 4/10 now. But can Robert maximise this? Because he's going to get a much better drive coming down Paddock Hill Bend. But Alan Axon might be the saving grace here. He needs to keep it on the tarmac there. In the background, Michael Clough has gone off into the kitty litter. That's caused a knock-on effect with Andre Romy, who's going to go up the inside of Fraser Rostance. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. And it's job done at the moment. So Matthew Williams is currently leading by 0.4 of a second. Lloyd Biddulph fans, he's down in 9th position. He's now behind Fraser Rostance. So that's going to be a tricky thing to get done as he holds onto that position. Andre Romy is in the massive melee of cars in the middle, so he is in 8th position. That's the BMW. You've got 1, 2, 3, third car in the row. Boom, that one, the red and white one. That's Andre Romy. He's in 8th position. Fraser Rostance in the Napa Ford. He's in 7th position. Michael Clough ahead. Lloyd Biddulph is down in 9th. I don't think Lloyd's going to win this, failing a massive accident from somebody or another safety car or some hell of a luck. I think he's going to do the double. He's already Phil Garside has gone completely off the road. And there's another accident. Derek Neal. Is that Derek Neal? No, Alan McCain. That car has lost a wheel, so he will be retiring at the moment. But the battle for the lead is on. Robert is not, he shouldn't have gone early. He went too early for the restart. He's now got Robert all over the rear end. But can Alan Axon? He's in 3rd position. 2nd, that's Robert. 1st position is Matthew. Can he go for this now? They're going left, they're going right. Robert's going to attempt to go around the outside. He's not going to go around Paddock Hill Bend. Robert's going to have to do the cutback immediately. There he goes. Jamie Dory's also doing the cutback. Is Robert going to take the lead? Is he going to go into the lead? Yes, he does. Oh, there's contact there from Alan Axon. Nothing in towards that. That's just a little bit of a touch at the back. Nothing gained, nothing lost. As they say, nothing wrong there for Alan. Ticks out. Matthew is now into 2nd position, but Stu Neal's alongside Jamie Dory. Stu Neal is the Pepperami car. There he is, the Apex, that one there, Apex Predators Firestick Pepperami. Jamie Dory's in 5th position, don't forget. He's right behind him. He's in the Doble. He did drive a rear-wheel drive for the first half of the season. Now he's in front-wheel drive. If you're wondering, there he is. There's Matthew, followed by Alan, followed by Stu, followed by Jamie Dory, riding on board with Dory now at the back. Right, Andre Romy's on the back of Fraser Rostance. This is down in 8th and 7th position. 7th position is Fraser Rostance. He's the Napa Ford, the one just ahead. Boom, there he is. 2nd car of your screen. Romy's got up the inside into Sheen Kerner. This should be a done deal, really. Yeah, he's got that done. He's held on to it. Absolutely sensational. Textbook. Checks himself out. Hands his hotel room key in. Right, Robert is now 1 second in the lead. So this could be Robert's first race victory of the season, but he's got 5 minutes and 32 seconds to keep it on the racetrack. That's the problem. Robert's going to go side by side there with Alan Axon. Robert's going to go on the inside. Robert's the left car. Alan Axon has been mighty quick through the season. Oh, he's done another. He's just run wide again. It's those mistakes that start to creep in, and that's cost him. He tries to keep the car. Stu Neal is going to try and return the favour by going up the inside. Doesn't do it. Holds on to it just enough to keep the car pointing in the right direction. Absolutely magnetic stuff. Matthew doing a stellar job. He's the car on the left. Alan Axon's the car on the right. This should be 2nd position for Alan. He should be able just to squeeze him just enough to hold that position. Stu Neal's also trying to follow Matthew through, but now he's got he's got Jamie Dorey, but Matthew holds that position just enough to stay into second. But Stu Neal is now attacking Alan Axon, riding on board with Stu Neal. Here he is. The Alan Axon is just ahead. Behind him, Jamie Dorey. It's a full-on, four-way battle here for third place, second place. Sorry, it's a four-way battle for second place. And we ride on board now with Jamie Dorey. Jamie Dorey's in fifth. There is fourth, third and second, nose to tail. And guess who's just joined the party? Michael Clough. He's now right at the back of this Lloyd Bidoff is now right at the back of this. As Romy's run wide, and that's allowed Lloyd Bidoff to get past. He's checked that out. Robert's 2.6 seconds ahead. So Robert, for the last race of the season, could take a race victory. But can Alan Axon get himself up now? He's going side by side with Matthew in the background. I can see that as well. Keep an eye on that. Massive melee that is happening. They're all holding stations. Alan's run wide in the background. You've got Jamie Dorey's on the right side, the car store, the number 88. Up goes Michael Clough behind that. Lloyd Bidoff. I get the feeling here that Lloyd Bidoff is being helped by Michael Clough. There seems to be a little bit of a teamwork going on here to try and help him get the triple, but I doubt he's going to get past. Lloyd should get past Jamie Dorey. That should be a done deal, really. Not round there, you're not. Commentator's curse has just turned up and struck him down, and as a result, a little bit of a squeak there, and he goes back again. So he's holding on to this as much as he can, so it's reset all over again. Matthew Williams is 3.7 seconds, so Matthew at the moment is the cork in the bottle. He is holding up the entire of the field, basically, from second all the way down to seventh, and because of that, you've got Lloyd Bidoff once again attacking Jamie Dorey. Job done. And he's got that done. So at the moment, second place man is holding up the entire field. So Robert just has to keep it on the track. Robert, who has come so close this season twice, Robert has come close to winning a victory, and I know it's going to mean a lot to him. So he's going to do it. Alan Axon's also, at least Alan Axon's going to try. I think Matthew's lost his tyres. He must have lost the tyres. He's just got no drive and no grip. Now the question is going to be whether Alan Axon can catch Robert, and whether Matthew can hold on to a top 5 position. It looks like he's struggling with the tyres, but he's just doing enough. So Matthew is the second car in your picture. There he is, he's the Duckmans. Then behind that, riding on board now with Lloyd Bidoff, he's in 6th position, don't forget. But he can see all the way to second. Through the left-hander, he's going to attempt to go round his old buddy Michael Clough, but there's Jamie Dorey. Matthew is now attacking back, has got Stu Neal alongside with him, trying to keep up with everybody here. Stu Neal at the moment is the Pepperami car, riding on board now with Stu Neal. He's looking left, he's looking right. You can see him kicking up a bit of dirt here through Hawthorns as he comes, still climbing up the hill here to the right-hander. A little bit of a break there from the car in front. That's causing the Constantina effect. Jamie Dorey's just running a bit wide there. He's kind of on his own. Fraser Rostan's in 8th and stuck in 8th. Kick of the dirt there from second place man Alan Axon, but I don't think he's going to be able to get 4.2 seconds. As you see there, they're all trying to squeeze past now. This is going to end up one of two ways. A massive accident, or someone's going to get past somebody. But at the moment, Michael Clough is alongside. There's Lloyd Bidoff. He's in the 123. He's the 1, 2, 3, 4th car in the row. And then Jamie Dorey, who we're riding on board with now. Lloyd Bidoff, we're riding on board now. He is absolutely, it's too wide. The two teammates. Oh, a little bit of a contact. Oh, there's contact at the rear there. And that's only really cost one person, and that's Lloyd Bidoff. Didn't cost anybody else but Lloyd Bidoff, and that's really hurt him. Fraser Ronstance has joined the mix, so has Romy. As you see running off wide there, Lloyd Bidoff's run wide. They're all absolutely kicking off. It's all over the place at the moment. Absolutely brilliant. And you can see here, riding on the back of Romy, you can see that the extended battle is all the way to 3rd position at the moment. It only says the battle for 6th, but it isn't. There's the entire field. And riding on board now with Lloyd Bidoff, he's got Jamie Dorey right at his rear chuff. Through the right-hander he goes. Can he do anything? A kick at the dirt there from Matthew Williams. Alan Axon has finally got, from Stu Neal. Stu Neal hasn't got past Matthew Williams. Matthew Williams is doing one hell of a stellar defence. It is race over. Race over. That is it. We're done. The question is, can Matthew Williams hold on to this enough? Is someone going to go audacious and sail it up the inside into the last two corners? Is someone going to give him the old punteroonies, or is he going to hold on to second, a third position? He's done an absolutely superb job. Into the final corner he goes. Stu Neal tries to send it up the inside, but Williams blocks him off absolutely superbly. As he crosses the line, he just holds on to third. Brilliant stuff there. Lloyd Biddulph comes home in fifth. Brilliant from him. But our race winner is Robert, and he'll be ecstatic with that. So many times through the season he's been right on the cusp of a victory, and he takes one in the last race of season 1, all very well deserved. Alan Axon brings the car home in second. Derek Neal brings the car home in 11th. Fantastic for Derek Neal. He's got a lot faster, actually. Derek Neal has done a stellar job of being absolutely sensational. So your finishing results for the last race of the season. Well deserved by Robert. I'm absolutely gutted for Alan, if I'm honest. Alan he's been so close to getting a race victory. He's been the fastest driver, I believe, this week. Race pace, he's been the fastest this week out, but he's just, it hasn't been able to convert that. So it is what it is. He finishes second. Matthew Williams, first time out, in third. Again, the safety car, Phil Garside brought the safety car out. Matthew Williams was controlling the race, and then he just couldn't fire his tyres up. Stu Neal in fourth. He should have finished higher than that. Lloyd Biddulph, solid result for him in fifth. Clough in sixth. Romy in seventh. Really hasn't materialised in the second half of the season. Jamie Dorey is eighth. Fraser Rostance is ninth. Again, gutted for Fraser Rostance. He deserved a victory this season, but not everybody can win. Poddy Flack is in 10th. In 11th is Derek Neal. Great result from him. Phil Garside, he's either on it or in the wall. There's no real ways for him. Alan McCain, he has 3 wheels on his wagon today at the end. But again, stellar result for him. He is getting quicker, so hopefully he will stick around for next season. And that's it. That's it from me. That's it from the racing series. The BTCC Next Gen Racing Series. It's been 10 fantastic weeks, 30 fantastic races. Lloyd Biddulph is confirmed as your championship winner. Second place man will be Romy. It is thoroughly deserved from both of them. They absolutely deserved their both positions. Well done to Robert, well done to Phil Garside, he's won as well. Romy, early season on in that BMW, has been absolutely sensational. Matthew was superb. Alan had real trouble at the start of the season, but he really came alive in the last 3 weeks. Shame he just couldn't carry that on early on, but it is what it is. Thank you, everybody, for those of you that followed me through the season and has kept with me and my random commentary style. Thank you very much. I'll be back for the next season at some point. So check us out on the Discord. Check us out on Facebook. I will go back and I will sort out all the YouTube videos so you can just watch the races. So if you're in the toilet at work and you want to watch a couple of races, get your headphones, sit on the bog, and get yourself watching those races. As always, great to our drivers and everyone else, and to the admin team that run it behind, because it is a lot of work. And yeah, so thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the hot summer temperatures. It's been fantastic, and yeah, good night.